Hi there folks, my name's NoelWing24 and welcome to another little review of an FSX and P3D product. So today we're going to be having a look at the recent release from Rex Simulations with their Worldwide Airports HD. So we're going to be going through an installation and comparing what it is that it actually changes. So let's get started with the install. So once we've installed it, we double click on it and we run it. We get our initial startup screen. There is a beautiful little audio coming through. So the first step when you come in and also when you update is it does require you to register the product. So you will need an internet connection there. So we'll go through and fill in the details here, and no, you're not going to see my details. Once that's all set in, you do your basic setup. So you choose your simulator. It will automatically detect what version of ESP platform sims that you have. And it'll go through, you just confirm that one and click that one and click the one you're installing and click next. Then you go through and choose whether you want HD textures for your buildings and ground environment and hangars, or whether you want standard definition. And once you've done that, and that's pretty much the setups assistant complete, then you go start, and then it'll give you an option to be able to back up your textures and models. Because this is completely optional, so it's probably not a bad idea to do. Just click OK to back up. It's a really quick and simple backup. It will keep everything there, and it will do all of your sims at the same time. So if you ever want to restore back to the boring defaults, you can. Alright, after that you go through and it gives you a quick summary of here of where you can change settings and the basic steps that you all have. And it goes through, it's basic step 1, 2, 3, that's pretty much it. There's not a great deal really to it. Just read the instructions and you're good to go. Alrighty, so let's have a look at our various texture sets. So as you can see, you've got quite a few different things that you can go through here. So the first one is, so you can go through, you've basically got a day and a night version, so you can preview of what approximately your texture is going to look like. You're going to go through most of the texture sets essentially have with and without the safe docking system. So you can go through, scroll through, choose the one that you like, and from the various different things there. Now these reflections unfortunately are not live reflections, as we will see later on, but let's go through and have a look and see which one shall we pick. I think let's go with this set there. So once you've chosen the set you want, you go add to theme. Then you go into your main set of building facilities. So this gives you a bit more, so there's a bit more to it, so it gives some close-up details of the different buildings as well as a night shot. And you get 3 different texture sets for this type of building. So one very European-centric with the sort of European road signs, and 2 more generic sets included. One obviously with the terminal level located at ground level, and another one with just vehicles underneath. So I'm going to go with the European one, add that to theme. Alright, let's go through next set, of course, the building facilities 2. Again, just another type of different buildings goes through here. Again, you get different zoomed in textures, go through and have a look at the different sets. So yeah, this is again a lot of the stuff that you will see at a lot of major airports around the world. Go through here. I think we're going to go through with, let's go with, I think set 2 for this one as well. Alright, small hangars. So these are your small GA hangars that you'll see dotted around airfields. So you get a couple of different color variations included with each of the texture sets here. So we've got sort of a blue and white stripe on this second texture set here. Goes through here, got some different hangar doors and stuff like that. What's kind of cool is with the night textures, some of the hangar doors you can actually see inside the hangar. It actually sort of has things. So I'm going to run with that set there. Alright, now the medium hangars, you get a choice of either just like a default generic type of hangar, with sort of with like a Cessna logo and sort of otherwise fairly logo devoid, or you can go with airline hangars. So this gives you 26 popular, or the highest 26 rated airlines of the world according to Rex, included in here, including Qantas, EasyJet, Air Alaska, KLM, Korean Air, Air France, all sorts of things included in here. I am of course going to choose, once we finish scrolling through these, you can pretty much tell which one I'm going to go with. Yes, I am going to go with the Qantas set just because. So we're going to add that one to our theme as well. Large hangars, again, much the same kind of thing again here. So we've got 4 different texture sets of large hangars to go through here, including some cool, and again, just get your night previews as well. Going through, got a nice blue one, that one's kind of nice, kind of cool. I think we'll add that one to our theme. Alright, ground environments, and this is where I have a little bit of an issue. So of course, I also use, so you go through these texture sets. Each of these 17 sets can be done in either heavy use or light use. It includes everything from, asphalt runways, concrete runways, taxiways, ground markings, ground parking indicators, jetway parking, taxiway indicators, taxiway lights, and grass, all included. Now, I kind of have an issue with this. Because of the fact that, I also use Rex 4 Texture Direct, which allows me to customize all this stuff. I can't customize into these individually. I have to just choose whichever set. It's a pre-done set of all of these textures, which is a little annoying. And unfortunately, it will override whatever I choose, whatever I've already chosen as part of Rex Texture Direct. So. And again, it's one of those things, we're going to use texture set 8 today, just because, but yeah, the way to get around that, of course, is to apply your texture forward set afterwards. Alright, moving on to the main jetways. So this redesigns the default jetways that you see at major airports coming through here. So you've got a more traditional sort of closed style, and various different open and glass style ones are all included with this one. So 16 cool different sets all the jetways are all included with this one. Reflective ones, all sorts of ones, looking pretty cool. So we're going to add that set to here, so then we can move on there. Airport lighting, again, same as the ground environment sort of one. This is essentially a clone of the ones from Rex Texture Direct, very similar with those ones. So you can go through, see it doesn't really give you much information about it, just sort of gives you an idea of how it might look. Again, it will overwrite if you've put Rex Textures 4 in already, it'll override it. We'll just add texture set 12 to here. Vehicle models. So this was a kind of cool part about this, is that it actually completely changes the default models of your actual airport support vehicles. So both your service vehicles, your for like pushback trucks and stuff like that, and your baggage vehicles, they all get changed and all get redone, and you can choose from 3 different colors for your models. So we're going to go through, we're going to have a blue pushback, chartreuse service, and white baggage vehicles, add those to our theme. And finally, parking garages. So the parking garage model is of course replaced. You've got 4 different types of parking garage models are included with this Worldwide Airports HD pack, and we'll go through complete with day and night textures. So I'm going to add set 3 to this one. Now once you've added all of those, you can save your airport theme. Now this is again another issue with, if you want to be able to put all your textures in at the same time, you have to have it added to a theme. You can go through and individually install separate textures if you want, but if you want to put it all together, you have to put it as a theme, save the theme, and it'll automatically it'll force the install the whole lot. So you can get around the whole adding it all to avoiding the Rex Texture Direct thing if you want by doing it individually, but that's just painful and a little annoying. Finally, the cogwheel at the top does allow you to change the settings that you did go through with the original setup guide. You can change these later on or restore from previous backups as well if you so desire. You can do that as well. Restore your save themes if you do uninstall and reinstall it later on. So, alright, well, that's the setup all done there. Thanks very much for that one. Okay, now, of course, let's now jump into actually the simulator, and let's have a look at these actually in work. So we're going to be doing this in a couple of different ways. We're going to be taking a drive. Of course, when you close it, you do, of course, prompts you to back it up. Alright, so we are going to jump into the simulator now. We're going to be jumping into Lockheed Martin's Prepared 3D version 3 today. We're going to be having a look. We're going to be doing a drive-by of a few airports. We're going to be able to see this, so you can actually see some of the default textures, as well as actually looking and then comparing those to what it looks like once you've been able to put in these updated buildings. So let's go and have a look at that now. Alright, so here we are. So our first airport we're going to be looking around is Kilo Foxtrot Oscar Echo. So it's going to be good driving as a GA airport. We're going to go through around. So, first off, we're going to be driving past. You're going to have a look at this rather boring sort of plain hangar there that we see from a GA hangar on the default ones. And of course now with the Rex textures installed with Airports HD, now we've got something that's a little bit more lively, a lot more detail in it, complete with the Cessna logo on there, which is kind of cool. All these actual signs and things you actually see on real airports. So it gives a lot more life and vibrancy to it. I think it looks kind of cool. Not only is it hangars, but as we saw, it's like generic service buildings as well. So these are just some of the generic sort of flat buildings, flat roof buildings that you see as part of the default scenery. And these are like offices and service bays and things like that that are important to actually having an airport run. Of course, they form an important part of airport operations, an important part of default scenery. And we can see that with Rex textures installed, they take on a whole new life and actually looking a bit cooler and a bit, definitely a lot less graphically devoid as they were previously, and just looking a lot smarter with the addition of these textures put in. So as I said, it looks cool. It gives a lot more life to your airport and actually makes things overall visually a lot more appealing, which is kind of cool. Exactly what you want to have from this add-on. Alright, so we're coming up now to another set of default hangars, and this actually will be showing off one of the faults of this one. So this is the generic default building where we've got the hangar door facing the outside, and that's cool, all good, just as we expect. It's a sort of set of 3 hangars, all pushed together, as we would expect to see at a GA airport. Nice big hangar doors there facing the outwards. Excellent, excellent, excellent. That's what we like to see. Unfortunately, though, however, due to the nature of the fact that default buildings sort of didn't really have a definitive side, and now Rex texture buildings do, it means that we don't actually get the hangar doors. We've got the back of the building, so we've got the truck loading dock, but no actual way to, park the aeroplane in front of. So this is a drawback of Rex textures. Airports HD, because it actually defines a front and a rear of a building, whereas the default textures didn't have to worry about that. The front and the rear of the building didn't matter because it was the same texture on either side. It didn't matter. So we kind of lose that, and that's a little bit frustrating. Alright, continuing along the flight line here, so we're going to be so we've got we've got the default airport models there again, just the generic flat roof buildings to sort of just populate the autogen there, and the very boring traditional airside of vehicles that we see as part of the default F6 and P3D experience as we drive quickly underneath this Airbus that's parked here at the airport. As the texture quality, as you can see, default, it's pretty basic, pretty bare bones. So of course now switching over to the Rex textures, we can see that it comes to life a lot more. So we actually got a bit more detail in there. We can see that the models have been updated for the ground vehicles as well. We can see the colors have changed to actually reflect our new models and new textures we got in there. The addition of things like the reflective, although it's not a live reflection of the actual simulation thing. It's still great to actually give you that and not just sort of like this opaque sort of just dull, boring grey sort of look. So this is again really cool, and a really cool thing that this happens to default airports. But I need to buy a specific airport. Alright, as we're going to wrap up our trip around KFOE with a final trip around one of the larger hangars. So we can see, a nice sort of autogen hangar there, very boring defaults and very low res textures as we drive by there in our Dodge Viper. And of course replaced with the beautiful HD textures that we get from here. So again, this is about giving life to, this is just a basic default airport. There is nothing special about this, no add-on scenery. It simply gives it so much more life and so much more, actually feeling like you're actually at a real airport, which is cool. Alright, we're going to move over now to Caden, so Denver International, to show off some of the things. So this is an airport that actually in default has some specific scenery. So I want to show off, so this is the default Denver International with its custom buildings. So because this is to show how the Airports HD actually interacts with airports that do contain like custom buildings as well. So we can see the default jetways, the default KDEN buildings is there as we orbit around our Airbus here. Default vehicles as well sitting there on the ramp. And you can see this is my original Rex textures installed here. Alright, and now you can see that we've switched over to, this is following the install of Airports HD, so we can see that we've got a new model and new graphics for our Aerobridge, but things like, and we've got the new models for the pushback vehicles like that, but things like the tower model and the actual terminal model, because they are not generic buildings, they are actually building specifically for Denver International. Those are not affected by the add-on. So this is where this add-on, you may not expect, you can't expect to see, every airport will be updated, but not every building in every airport will be updated. So if it is something like KDEN, which has specific buildings in it, designed for the airport, you won't see a change in that one. Alright, finally we're going to be heading along the flight line of a final airport, Uniform Sierra Sierra Sierra, so we're going to take a quick drive along the flight line here. So there's just a generic terminal building, having a look at this one. So very boring, sort of low poly, low res textures that we see there, and the very boring low res vehicle models that we see there as well. So we just as we drive along here, very familiar to all of us with the way that we actually that we've been flying through our simulators for many years. Shoot underneath the old Airbus A321 there, and again, just this is a good, I've chosen this airport because it does show a variety of different buildings along the flight line here, so it'll be a good chance for us to be able to explore and see some of the different buildings that actually get injected as part of this add-on pack. So we come to the end of the flight line here, and the last of the generic hangars there, heading to the fuel stop. By the way, the fuel stations don't change, so that is not affected. Well, I was a bit surprised. I was expecting the fuel models to be changed, but anyway, we can see here that of course we've seen an update. So instantly we can straight away see the update to the vehicle models. So we've got the brand new pushback truck, we've got a brand new baggage loading and unloading vehicles as well. And we can see along here that now as we drive along this terminal, that we can see it's got the safe to dock signs there. They don't necessarily work, though. Just want to specify that they are not, they appear there, but they don't actually function. So sorry if you were expecting that. Yeah, that is not part of this one. But it's great to see that not only do you get the new vehicles, we can just over here, we can see three distinct different types of actual pushback vehicles. So you've got sort of a U-type, you've got your tow bar type, so you know, and two different types of tow bar ones. So this is again a great example of giving you a bit more variety and just shaking things up a little bit in terms of your actual simulation experience. So you don't get bored seeing the same thing all of the time. It's just, you know, it's kind of cool to actually give you that bit of difference. It's gone to the end of the terminal there as we approach to go drive underneath this Airbus again. We've can also see another one of the GA hangars there again. Nice little bit of the line there, so we can see, yeah, it's because this is what hangars look like. Hangars have the, you know, big signs on them, and actually, you know, big signs proclaiming who they actually belong to and the company that's residing in there. A few different buildings coming through the flat roof, so you can see that it does give you multiple sets of textures for your different building types to give you that variety, so you're not always looking at the same boring set of textures, which is again really cool. So yeah, overall I think this is a really good add-on. You know, it's got its few bugs, like the fact that you've got to add everything, including ground textures and stuff like that, to be able to insert the theme instead of having to go or have to individually go through and actually click individually what thing you want to install. But overall, it's like it's virtually no performance hit, which is really cool as well, which is something we always look for in add-ons. You know, virtually no performance hit, but gives you so much more life to your airports. What I really like about this, and why I'm actually really going to recommend this to people, is the fact that despite its issues with, as I said, the installation and stuff like that, installing the textures, especially if you're using other Rex products. The thing that makes this really good is the fact that you don't have to buy or search for airports to replace the default airports, you know, of every airport around the world anymore. Now you can actually just simply, one add-on will update all of your airports, you know, thus all of your airports with updated buildings that look cool, look amazing, and really bring your simulator to a bit more life. You know, you can, you know, because you use this in alongside doing things like, you know, buying airports that you particularly want to do, you particularly want to have updated. You know, it's always great. So there's still a market for that. It's not going to stop people from making and buying their own airports completely, but it's a good, simple, quick, easy, and very affordable way to give a high quality overhaul to all the airports around the world in one easy hit. So yeah, an excellent product from Rex. As I said, it's got its issues with the installer, the way it handles the installation, the way it does things like that, but overall I think this is an amazing and very affordable and well priced and excellent looking add-on. Alright folks, well thank you very much for joining me for this little review of Rex Worldwide Airports HD. It really is a tongue twister, isn't it? Thank you very much for the review. This one available now from your favourite flight simulation retailer available now. This would make a great stocking stuffer for yourself or for the flight simulation pilot that you know and love. That would be awesome. Alright folks, thank you very much for joining me for this review. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search Novawing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.